So Bilal, you finally have a name, you finally have a date. Is that relief, to just know that you've got your first title defense and you got something to plan for?
Yeah, honestly, that was one of the biggest, the hardest things before getting the title, right? Is like, who am I gonna fight? When's it gonna happen? Like, are they gonna give me my shot? Now that I'm the champion, I know that I'm gonna get a fight. I know that they need me now to fight. So, and I love to fight. So I'm happy that I got a fight. I got a date, and yeah, I'm just back in the gym. I'm ready to go. That's my favorite part about this journey is always training, just being in the gym, working with my teammates, working with my guys, and trying to solve the next puzzle.
What do you think of Shavkat as an opponent? Obviously, you probably like to the idea of taking someone zero from them.
Yeah, for sure. Right. I love the idea that people think he's unbeatable. He's the boogeyman. He's the guy that everybody's looking at. And for a guy that's 18 and 0, 18 finishes, and I go in there and I beat him, it just adds to my legacy, right? I just went through somebody who hasn't lost in 8 years. Before that, I beat you know, Sean Brady, who's undefeated, a juggernaut, right? And these people that I'm beating, people are now starting to realize, wait, this guy is that good. He figures it out. He comes up with a new game plan every single fight. He looks like a different fighter every single fight. So yeah, I just can't wait to go in there and just continue building my legacy.
As somebody who it took a while to be put in the opportunity to fight for a title, does it bother you at all that he hasn't had the same weight? He hasn't fought the competition you've fought and has been given a title fight already, or you just can't think about that right now.
Yeah, for myself, it doesn't really matter to me, right? Because like I said, I wanted to be that champion that gave it to the next contender that deserved it, who earned it. There's not really one out there that's a clear number one contender, right? He has the resume of just being undefeated and the aura about him, but like when you're really thinking about it, his last one was against Wonder Boy. But there isn't a guy that like he's skipping. I think he's just ahead of everybody else. And for myself, I'd rather fight instead of just sit on the sidelines and wait for something else to play out. Like this game is so hard to stay healthy in, and it's like a short window of getting as many fights and making as much money as possible. So for me, if I'm healthy and I'm always in the gym, I'm always training, I'm always working, I'd rather be in the cage than outside of it.
You get the date and the opponent, and then everybody now is saying your name. They remember your name now. Let's start with Conor. Conor obviously always has to be vocal, then deletes his tweet. Take anything from what Conor McGregor had to say about you. And is that a fight if he comes back and beats someone, would you gladly, defend the title against him?
He's not gonna come back, and if he does come back, I don't think he's ever gonna beat anybody. Yeah, I think Connor's just at that old guy now. He's never really old, right? But the drugs make him look old and feel old. But he's that old guy that's at the bar, like, oh, I used to be a champion, I used to be double champ, blah blah blah, and he's always like just putting out these tweets. Let's see if these people write an article about it. And he knows that it's just going to get attention because he's still at that age and he still has that, hope from these fans. But I think people are going to start realizing that everything he does is just blowing smoke. He's not really going to fight. He's just talking. And he just wants the attention because he's not really getting the attention anywhere else. Like his whiskey company sucks. He's trying to be the face of bare knuckle boxing, but their superstar is just out right now with a DUI. So it's like, where does Conor go from here?
How would a fight look like if he somehow did make it back and he was to get in there with you? Would it be like what we saw with Khabib?
I would literally slap him around the cage. It would literally be like embarrassing to the point of like people would be like, no way, this guy was a double champ before. Like, how is this guy even a fighter? The game's passed him up. He's not really. There's nothing new about him. Even when he came onto the scene, a lot of his stuff was just a left hand, right? But I think people now with strategy and figuring stuff out and tape watching, like it's easy to beat a guy like him. He's just one dimensional.
And then there's Ilya Taporia as well. I'm not even sure where that all started from. What do you make of I guess his internet beef with you?
I just think he's just trying to find his persona, right? He's trying to be this guy that people don't really know much about, right? Nobody really cares about him. So he's trying to get attention by talking trash and just calling out everybody. But yeah, I'm like, bro, you're like 4 foot like 5, and you're 150 pounds. Like, relax. Like I literally slap you around. So I think for him now it's just trying to get any type of attention. He obviously has a fight going on, and you really can't trash talk a guy like Max Holloway because everybody loves him, right? So there's really not much you're gonna get out of Max. So he's trying to throw stuff out there to other people to try to see who will give him, that back and forth. And like it's not really even fun to go back and forth with him because he's not really good at trash talking. He's not good at it. He just says dumb stuff. Uh, but yeah, in general, nothing's gonna come of it. So like, there's no even point of him even saying it.
And last thing for you, any message for Shavkat before you guys get in there December 7th?
See you soon, boy. Hope you're ready.
They've trained for you, right? That camp has trained, right? Gilbert at least. Is Gilbert the only one of those guys that have you fought?
Yeah, I fought their camp 3 times. I fought Gilbert, Luque, Takashi Sato. So yeah, I mean, I got a good relationship with their coach. Henry Hoop is the man. He's such a good guy, and it's like, dang, I got to fight you again. But yeah, for me, it doesn't have to be personal, right? Like even people will tell me like, bro, why are you talking to Ilya for? Start talking trash to Shavkat. And I was like, bro, nothing needs to be created. It doesn't need to be fake drama because I think people are gonna tune in regardless, right? People will look at him and say he's undefeated. People will look at me and say, "Oh man, I haven't lost in how many years? 7 years." So for myself, I just went through that whole you know idea of, "Oh, you're fighting somebody who hasn't lost in 8 years against Leon Edwards. What are you gonna do to him?" And I made it look easy. Shavkat undefeated has O next to his name. I'm gonna give him his first L, and people are gonna be like, "How did he do that?"